Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Demon Hunter skill video. So just once again to remind y'all, there's not a video about me showing my DPS or how strong my character is. It's simply just a series of videos showing you guys each and every skill for this particular class. So, starting off with the primary skills that you get. The very first one you get is Hungering Arrow. Fire a magically imbued arrow that seeks out targets for 115% weapon damage and has a 35% chance to pierce through targets. So this is the first skill you get as a Demon Hunter. It's absolutely the simplest thing you could ever imagine. So there is no way possible for me to actually use this character on lower difficulties because she needs a weapon, or not like use it without having a weapon in her hand, because she kind of needs it to fire arrows. So I'm gonna be one-shotting most of everything, so yeah, keep that in mind. Did any of that actually pierce through the target? I could not tell. Is anything good? Well, I'm not gonna worry about that. This is on hell difficulty, by the way, so yeah. So this is how it looks. It just has a 35% chance to pierce through shit. That did not pierce through shit. Whatever. And it seeks out its target, which is pretty cool. I should show you that. If this damn thing would seek out the target, there you go. Yeah, it's not piercing through targets for some reason. Probably because I'm one-shotting most of them. Anyways, Puncturing Arrow is the first skill rune you get with this skill. It increases the chance for the arrow to pierce through targets by 50%, and it also changes how it looks. And I forgot that it's hell difficulty, so changing stuff in the field takes a long ass time for it to cool down. It's even worse on Inferno. Actually, it's majorly worse on Inferno. For some reason on Inferno, if you change skills in the field, it takes freaking 30 seconds for the skill to actually be used, or 30 seconds until the skill is able to be used. So this is how it actually looks. It actually looks like an arrow now instead of like a multitude of triangles that links together and flies forward. So all the real difference is, I don't need the enlightened one, is that it has a 30, it has a, not 30, what is it, 15% boost to piercing chance. There we go. One arrow killed two of them. So as you can see, you can it's pretty much very obvious that it increases the chance to pierce, because before I got this, it took a while. Awesome. Alright, next. Cinder Arrow. Light the arrow on fire, dealing 35% additional weapon damage as fire over 30 seconds. So this would have been good, except it does damage over time. But whatever. And it's only 35%. I don't like damage over time stuff, because really, it's not enough DPS for me. But, as you can see, it looks different once again, it's not on fire. Huh. And as you can see also, even though those things die in one hit, they do have that secondary damage thing. Oh god. Okay. The biggest problem for me is that I really, really hope that no, there is no reflect damage. If I find a reflect damage mob, I will probably die. Okay. Maybe I should have let him burn to death. That would have been a better way to show you. Well, anyways, you can already tell that's on fire. It does that little, pop-up damage after it got hit once. So that's all it is. Shatter shot. If the arrow successfully pierced the first target, the arrow splits into 3 arrows. Now, I know that a lot of people use this skill simply for the major DPS on boss battles and on bigger monsters, because when it pierces the target, it splits into 3 arrows. If the monster is fat or big enough, the 3 arrows would automatically seek the same monster again because the hitbox is so large, so that all 3 arrows would actually fly back and hit the target, doing, well, 115% damage 3 more times. That's why a lot of people use hungering arrows, or hungering arrows, with shatter shot. Um, I do that too, but then for my layout with Night Stalker, which I need critical hit chance. This is good, except that on most elite fights, the elite is so tiny anyways. It is the 3 arrows doesn't actually come back, only 1 does. So I would on my build I use puncturing arrows simply because it has more chances to pierce the target. Well, that pierces through. Why didn't it split? Odd. Whatever. Whatever. There we go. So pretty cool, huh? And of course it changed how it looks. It's now like a black it's now like a blackish, bluish arrow, which is pretty cool. I like it. Next, devouring arrow. Each consecutive pierce increases the damage of the arrow by 70%. Don't let this skill fool you. Each arrow can only pierce once, so each consecutive pierce, it's like hinting that, hey, you might have a chance for the arrow to pierce twice, which means the arrow actually does 114% extra damage. No. From what I can tell with my use, more than likely, the arrow would only pierce once, and then after it hits the second time, it will not pierce. So this ability only increases it by 70%. It's very unlikely that it would pierce twice. See, as you can see, it's very unlikely that it would pierce twice. I don't think it even can. I think they cap it so that the ability itself only pierces through targets 1 time. So that's kind of a bummer. That's why most people use Shatter Shot, simply because it spreads to 3 different arrows, which then hit 3 different targets. So, or if the target's big enough, it hits, well, the same target again 3 times. So technically this is more powerful, if you think about it. Since the cumulative DPS is a lot more damaging than any of these skills combined, really. So not a lot of people use Devouring Arrow, and I won't blame them. Not a very good skill rune. As you can see, the first shot did 200 and something. I mean, not 200. that would be amazing. I wish I did 200 and something damage, but it did 22 damage, and then the second hit where it actually flew back did 44 damage, or 44k. You know, all these is K, by the way. So it's pretty. It does increase it by 70%, even though that was like double the damage, but the range of the damage is actually between 500 and 700. So, you know. But yeah, it does increases the damage, which is pretty cool. Shut up. Alright. And it looks different. It's not red. Which is eluding, because most red stuff in this game is actually health gain. But, whatever. Sprayed of teeth. Successful critical hit cause a burst of bone to explode from the target, dealing 50% weapon damage to enemies in that area. So since I have my, sharpshooter skill, getting critical hit, it's always basically. This is my critical hit build because I kind of needed to restore my discipline so that I can spam what is it, shadow cloak, whatever that ability is called, the one that makes you invincible. Are you kidding? How did I get this? Whatever. Let's check it out anyways. Hopefully it's good. I highly doubt it. Yeah, it sucks. There we go. Critical hit. God damn it. Go away. Thank you. So, my one disappointment about this skill is that, well, as you can see from the arrow, it looks the goddamn same. At least I don't see any difference between Spray of Teeth and Hungering Arrows. I mean, Shatter Shot. Sorry. Yeah, I do not see the difference between Spray of Teeth and Shatter Shot. I mean, they both look blue, purplish, black. So, very disappointing. Also, when it critical hit, it doesn't show the spray of teeth. You know, it doesn't show bone exploding from their bodies or something like that. It just damages anything around it, which is very, very lazy design in my opinion. I mean, for God's sake, all it is this, except it doesn't, split into 3 arrows. It just does AoE damage whenever it crits. So, very disappointing in that respect. But for my recommendation for you, what to use for hungering arrows, if you actually want to use it, is just shatter shot or puncturing arrows, depending on which one you want. Not a lot of people use either any of the other 3 skills. I've seen some use devouring arrows, but I don't highly recommend it simply because even though it does 70% extra damage, it's not very good on big bosses like Belial or Asmodan or Diablo, simply because most of the time all 3 shots that split apart will actually come back to the boss itself, so you will be actually doing, what is it, uh, minimum 300%. I am not going to sit here and add that together. So yeah, it does the most damage on bosses because they are so big that most of the time at least 2 arrows would come back and hit them, which is pretty cool. Or if you want, you can use puncturing arrows for multiple pierces. Yes, puncturing arrows would actually pierce more than 2 times. I don't know why. I really don't. Because I've seen one of my arrows for this actually pierce through a target 3 times before, so that's why I know it actually pierces more than twice. But 3 times is the max for this one. Simply because it has more chances to pierce through. All these still only have 35, and hitting that 35 mark a second time is very unlikely. It's either that or they cap it, and for some reason they decided to cap this one at 3. So whatever. So yeah, that was the Hungering Arrow ability. So when we get back, we'll take a look at the Entangling Shot.